Hey folks, welcome to Fresh Produce. I'm Pete from BTI. Today I've got a super special guest. Tyler from WTB is here to talk us through the line. We've got a couple of new products and a couple of little refinements that we're going to dive into and get sort of the deep spiel on it. So let's hear about it. First of all, thanks for coming.
Really happy to be here.
Welcome to the studio. Great. Yeah. We've covered the Devo and the Gravelier saddle in our kind of Sea Otter roundup earlier this year. So that was when these sort of launched. But can you talk to me more about the construction on these saddles and how that's also carried over to the newer Volt and Silverado?
Absolutely. So this last spring, we launched these two new saddles, and they were the first ones to feature our fusion form construction. And so this is a whole new method of manufacturing a saddle for us. You can see it's a really clean. What I'm really excited about is this is one of our first drop bar specific saddles. So with fusion form, we're able to tune the amount of fiber that goes into the nylon. And so we can create a really nice flexible shell and really reduce some of those hot spots. So, cool. And the same thing with the Devo, the fusion form allows for a really stiff, we can tune it so that it's got a stiff back end.
So you even thought about that detail, like the handle needs to be stiff. You're not just thinking about the flex of the saddles.
Yeah, but the handle, you don't want the rails popping out on the backside, so it's all built up.
So I have an older version of the Silverado here. I just wanted to bring this out to kind of highlight the differences. The old ones were more like glued and stapled around the base with some reinforcements screwed in. So you can just kind of see the in the cleanliness of the new one. It just looks super neat.
Yeah,
refined, I would say.
There's definitely an aesthetic improvement to it, but it's also a functional improvement as well. So with the fusion form, we're able to really just pull more comfort into the saddle, reduce those hot spots, and have a better overall experience. So.
Cool. Now, if you did have some customers that were just absolutely stuck on a saddle that's worked for them forever, the older versions are still around, so that's kind of important to note. Cool. So this construction also is shifting over to one of the most popular saddles in the line, the Volt, right?
Correct. The Volt it's our best seller. It has been for a long time. There's a lot of people that love it. It's been on a lot of mountain bikes. But what we wanted to make sure was that we weren't changing it too much, but definitely making an improvement. So it got fusion form updates this summer. And one of the benefits of it is we were able to even remove more hot spots out of where the sit bone area is. So it's an even more comfortable saddle than the original Volt.
Cool. And from what I saw, like some real science went into measuring the hot spots and measuring those pinch points for folks. So
yeah, we pressure mapped the saddle, and we have some pretty good data around improving overall ride feel.
Sweet. And here's that newest Silverado as well. So I noticed that the Silverado, this one, another little refinement, it got shorter, right? The old Silverado was 285 millimeters long.
Yeah, it was 280. It was definitely a long saddle. It's gone down now to 260.
Okay.
So, as bikes require not as long of a saddle, more modern fit, we were able to shrink this down, but still keep a lot of that same profile that everyone that has fallen in love with Silverado still has. So.
Absolutely. And just such a cool, clean look. And I brought in a couple of these saddles, brought some different rail versions. So you've got a carbon version available in all of these saddles, as well as I think this is the stainless steel version.
Yep, that's new for this last spring. So now on fusion form, we'll basically have it in carbon, tie, and stainless. And then the chromoly and steel rail saddles will be the original construction.
So like this one, this is a chromoly. Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty unique. Is there anybody else doing stainless steel? I don't think there is that I know of.
For us, the stainless steel was a very similar weight to tie rails. And but it's $20 cheaper retail. It just doesn't have the spring of a tie rail. So it's a little stiffer of a rail material. Okay. But still helps get that light weight down.
Yeah, absolutely. For like a suspension bike, the spring probably doesn't matter all that much.
So, yeah.
Cool. That's really important. And I appreciate the deep dive into that. So one other question I've got is just kind of how the actual top cover is really applied or like stuck onto that bottom base. It seems like there's just nothing holding it on. I know it's vacuum sealed. Is it just glue? Like, tell me more about the process.
Yeah, there's a manufacturing process where we combine the pad and the base and the cover all in one process. Mm-hmm. And so it's just a real durable connection. And so you have a really positive fit around. So it looks clean, but it's really durable. We've been riding these for a long time and exceeding expectations there.
Cool. So it's neat to hear that really it's like also the pad included in that seal process. It makes a ton of sense to me, and I'm sure it helps you really control each section and dial in all the details too. So.
Absolutely.
Cool. So let's move along. We got some other new product that's just come out recently. You want to talk about the tire or the grips here first?
We can jump into the grips. So WTB is unveiling a new grip lineup. So we've had grips in the game for a long time. You might remember like our original trail grip. It's still out there.
Totally.
But this time around, we're coming out with 4 new grips, and these are based around fit, fit and rider preference. So we've gone with a minimal cushion, lots of grip, opposing points on the grip here that keep it nice and tight.
So yeah, little edges that are really stand out. I think it seems comfortable, but your hand's not going to turn at all on this one. So that's pretty cool. Before we go any farther, do you have to cut your handlebar at an angle anymore?
No, that is done with these.
I'm glad to hear it. All right, so carry on.
So then we go into our Wavelength grip. So this is going to be more like your regular trail grip, a 32 mil, nice and squishy, but comfortable and just a nice tapered feel to it as well.
Cool. And I'll highlight there's some differences around the grip. So the outer edge of your palm is going to push on this horizontal, and then you've got a more vertical ribbing through over here, and then your fingers are going to lock into sort of a little waffle type pattern on the bottom, right?
Yeah, it's just a real natural feel. There's some windows built into it too, so into the body of the grip, so that way you've got a little more vibration damping, and then also it grips onto the handlebar better.
So I can feel that right in here, right where the kind of heel of your hand is going to push. That inner plastic sleeve is cut out. The rubber is going to stick onto the handlebar, like you mentioned, and more rubber in that spot too, right?
Yep, exactly. Add more comfort there.
Cool.
So this time around, we're also offering an ergonomic grip. This is the CZ Control. This is got a little bit of a palm support. Again, more windows and a nice thicker feel. And then we're doing the Trace, which is a really squishy, big grip, lots of comfort, lots of palm support, and again, more windows in there to just aid for rider comfort.
I think this is going to be a winner. There's just a ton of edges and a ton of area for that rubber to sort of flex and squish. So instead of just being thick, it's also allowing some of that conforming movement of the grip. It looks pretty cool to me. It feels good.
Yeah, that's a great grip for like big rides, long days where you just want lots of comfort.
Sweet.
Cool. Yeah, we're excited about these. We're going to do them in black and tan. So the tan matches the sidewall, tan sidewalls.
Oh, yeah.
And then black's everybody's favorite.
It's got to match. Love it. All right, let's hear about the FatBike Tire.
So WTB is launching our very first FatBike Tire. We're coming out with the Bailiff. This is a 27.5 by 4.5. It's a 120 TPI tire. It's studdable. This thing is just a big, burly, awesome tire for flotation on snow. It'll work in sand and other situations, but we're really excited to be able to enter the market here. We're going to have it available in a studded version also. So we'll sell them aftermarket in the US in both studded and studdable. The studded option is fully studded, so 312 studs. Wow. And we're probably going to be one of the most we believe we're going to be the most heavily studded tire out there.
So you're going studs, you got to go all the way, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're really a good, safe option. And, the thing offering a studdable tire is you can pick, the pattern that you'd like to use. But
that's cool.
Studding a tire, especially 312 studs,
it's time consuming.
It's worth just buying it sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. Thing looks burly, it looks awesome, tons of grip, a lot of space.
Yeah,
very cool.
Yeah, I mean it's still 120 TPI, so it's it's still a lightweight tire. Considering it's
right,
FatBike
that
tire.
much rubber. Yeah,
we're at like 1,500, a little over 1,500 grams for the without studs, and a little over 1,600 grams with studs.
Sounds reasonable. Cool, yeah. And then that high TPI, it'll also conform super well to ice chunks and other things. You're not going to be bouncing around like tire.
You can run this low pressure. Yeah. It's got a lot of grip, a lot of traction, in all conditions. So
cool. Well, thanks so much for running us through this line. It helps to just talk about some of the details and hear what WTB is thinking as they're designing, as they're developing these products. Really love to hear it right from you, and appreciate you stopping by.
Yeah, thanks, Pete. Thanks, everyone.
Cool. If you want to try out any of these WTB products, make sure you ask at your local bike shop and tell them BTI sent you.